All right, welcome to this video on confidence. So in this video I will be talking introductionally about what confidence is, and the biggest misconception that most people have when it comes to confidence is that they misconstrued what it actually is. So there's two types of confidence that I will be talking about today. And bear in mind, I will not dive deep into these topics. I will mention some things that I will go deeper into in the coming videos. So just have that in the back of your mind. So there's two types of confidence, and most people usually talk about this. So there's core confidence, which is the thing that we need to learn, or the actual thing that most people want, and this is what most people have. So situational confidence means it's based on competency, based on the things that you have, the things that you do. It's basically based on external things, not who you are, right? Meanwhile, core confidence, this doesn't need anything. There's no conditions to this. Right? This is just you. You are confident because you are you. Okay? I'm going to dive deeper into that. So what does situational confidence means? As I mentioned, it could be competence. Let's say work. You're really good at your job. Therefore, you have competency, and that is your confidence at work. Right? Let's say you have a nice house, you have a nice car, right? Car, house, and so on. List all your things. All of those things are external. You can be confident because you do certain things, right? Let's say you work out, you run, and the list goes on, right? You meditate, you take cold showers, you do all of those things. You have a whole list of morning routines, and because of that, you are confident. That's because I do all of those things. I feel great about myself. So this is a concept that we call having, like the things that you have, right? Having. There's the things that you do, doing. And then the last one is just be. Just being. There's a reason why there's a split, and why most people are here. And that reason is that your parents did not love you. Just kidding. There were some conditions, right? The conditions is, actually, it started from the day you were born, based on the environment that you were brought up in, right? Let's say in the environment is your household, right? So this is the first layer. The second layer is school, right? You go to school, there are some set of conditions for you to get accepted. So in the household, you had to act a certain way to get love, validation, attention. The same when you get in the classroom, you need to act right, unless you get punished. And then third, society in general, you need to be accepted. You need to be accepted by the group. So therefore, you get these layers of acceptable behavior. So the actual you, this one, the core, the authentic self, gets buried like an onion. You know the onion? In the middle there's the sweet part, and then there's the dead layer, and then gets smaller and smaller. This is you. And based on all these conditions from the home, school, society, work, right? Another layer. You have to act right unless you want to lose your job, right? There's always this threat hanging over you. So all of these things, everyone is pushing you towards conditioned love. Everyone is teaching you from the day that you were born that you don't deserve love unless this. So it's really hard to do this, right? And then you have social media telling you that you need all of those things. You need to have money, you need to have cars, houses, X, Y, and Z. And there's always more and more chasing. You need to do this. You need to do all of those things. You need to have 17 things that you need to do in the morning. Your morning list. Right? Wake up at fucking 4 a.m. If you don't, then you don't deserve love. You don't deserve attention. You don't deserve success. Okay? So that's why everyone is here. You need competence. You need to have this. You need to have that. You need to do this. A whole fucking list. Okay? Meanwhile, let's say you do get the cars. You get the house. You're good at your job. You're doing all of those routines. What happens if you take all of that away? If you can't, let's say you get an injury, you can't run, you can't work out. You lose your job. Are you worthless? As a person, you have inherent value just because you are you. And that's where I'm gonna go into, right? If you lose your house, your cars, those things doesn't matter. So the core confidence, it comes from an inner belief that you are good enough just who you are. And then you do all of those things because you are motivated, because that is inspiration, not because you seek love or validation. So that's the contrast. So there's a difference between doing these things because you're looking for validation. In contrast, if you do come from a place of just loving yourself, right? Sounds cliche. I hate that. Love yourself. But it's true. Okay? You need to have this inner belief of you are enough just how you are, and then you can communicate authentically that version of you. Okay. So, there's a reason why you operate on conditions. As I mentioned earlier, the reasons are your household, school, work, society. You need to have an acceptable behavior. So you need to operate within these parameters. If you step out, then there's a fear of being left out. You're going to get kicked out of the tribe. This is a primal response. Primal, right? This used to happen back in the days. If you did something wrong in the group, then if you got kicked out, then that meant certain death. And that programming is still in us. And we act like this is going to happen. That's why we're so afraid to step out of the comfort zone and just freely express. And don't get it twisted. It's not just free expression, freedom of like just being authentic yourself, because there's the limit to how authentic you can be. There's a place, a golden zone, right, where you can be relatable, but also express freely. Be the one that dares to speak their mind. Do the silly dance move. Let yourself go. right? Don't overanalyze everything. Because most people are in their head. They're thinking, like, okay, they're analyzing, okay, is this okay to say? Is this okay to say? Am I doing the right behavior? What are they thinking about me? Am I acceptable right now? Am I a part of the group, right? All of those things, you're just data analyzing mode, OpenAI, ChatGPT, right? This is you most of the time. Overanalyzing, just tense, right? Because when you take away all of those things, the competence, the things that you do, and let's say you're confident at work, you're confident at the gym, but then you put yourself in a social setting, then all of those confidence points, they just go away. You want to talk to a person that you want to meet, you don't know how to. You don't know how to do this. And I'm going to tell you how you can transition from this to this. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. Okay? And it's not learning new things. That's the biggest misconception. You don't need to learn anything. You need to eliminate all of those things. You need to eliminate how you react, how you think about yourself, like your inner self-talk, how you talk to yourself. And the first step is basically becoming aware of the things that you don't know. Because I promise you, there's probably behavior that you do that you're not aware of. So you need to start in the blind. You need to sit still, meditate. Okay, so the first step is meditation. This is extremely important. This is how you find out the things that you don't know. And then, by the power of stillness, you open up for new thoughts. You will download the things that you need. It will come to you. You just need to be consistent. Meditate 20 minutes every day for 3 months and see what happens. Because when you do is that you train your mind to be still. You're never going to be still, but you train your mind to focus on the right things as well. So let's say you get in a situation which is stressful. What the meditation does is it keeps you calm in a stressful situation. Right? You trained your brain to not go back to this. So awareness is the first thing. And when you're aware, when you're aware in a social setting, you'll see yourself do the things, and then from there you can take mental notes, right? So mental notes, mental notes, and then you need to write them down, right? So you don't pick up your phone in a social setting and write things down. You do that later, and then you remember, okay, this time I did this, next time I need to do this instead, right? I kind of reacted a certain way. I don't want to do that. I want to stay calm, collected. So let's try that next time, right? So from there, you do, that's an R. Right. Action. Okay? So meditation comes first. That's when you begin to train your mind. Mental notes from social settings. And this takes practice. So you need to put yourself in social settings. You need to go out more, talk to more people. And then from there, train to do the right action. Sounds simple, right? This took me years, by the way. So just to tell you a little bit about my story, I came to Norway. I'm from the Middle East. Came to Norway when I was 12. So I kind of spent some years just learning the language. But I found myself in a social setting I would never speak, because I don't know why. It's probably because I didn't think I was good enough. Simple. It doesn't mean that it's trauma. It's just like habits. It's bad habits. For you, you develop these bad habits in your environment. All right. So based on the conditions at home, you do certain things to survive, right? And then you form a habit. You do certain things at work, at school, and then these habits, they get you through this environment and conditions, right? But it doesn't work in the real world, because you need to grow up. And it has nothing to do with trauma. If you really think that you're traumatized, then go to a professional. This is not about trauma, okay? I don't like that word. Most people think they're traumatized, they're not. Just get rid of the bad habits, bro. All right. So awareness, right action, and then just repeat. And then there's a bonus thing. As I said, you need to let go of these things. So you let go of these bad habits by replacing them with awareness. But there's some things that really stay in the body, like tension. Like if you, as I had tension here because I held in a lot of speech. So you need to release that. There's a lot of different exercises. If you look up Elliot Holt's release, and then you will see some crazy videos where he's jumping up and down, doing all of those things. That tension is stored up in the body as energy in the fascia. And you just need to release that. And do that continuously. You will see, combined with the meditation and releasing exercises, going out, taking action, taking mental notes, and continuously just fixing that, nothing can stop you, right? So the confidence that you want, you need to prove to yourself, right? You need to prove that this is okay. So you need to test, okay, let me say this is a little bit out of my comfort zone. Let me try that. Do it. And then just push the limit for each time. I think this is it. This is, as I said, an introductional video. For the next video, I will be talking about authenticity, even deeper, and how you can achieve the authentic self. Letting go, and yeah, other technical things.